Ambassador Susan Page, she was the first U.S. ambassador to South Sudan, and retired U.S. Army Colonel and MSNBC military analyst Jack Jacobs. Colonel, the U.S. got people out, but it was not easy. We know by ground would have been too dangerous. The airport is totally inaccessible there in the capital. So can you put into perspective just how difficult this mission must have been and what it must have entailed?
Well, the good news is that everybody was located in the same place, so you didn't have to go all around the country and marshal people into one pickup zone. They were all in and around the embassy, so that made it easier than it otherwise would be. But all the aircraft came from an assembly area in Djibouti. And Djibouti is far enough away from Khartoum so that it is very nearly at the extreme range of the helicopters that were used to pick up the embassy personnel, which means that on the way back they had to refuel, otherwise they wouldn't get out of there. The interesting thing is this went completely according to plan. The force was on the ground less than an hour and nobody was hurt. So a textbook example of what can be accomplished when you know in advance where you're going, where you're coming from, and who you're picking up. Ana?
Ambassador Page, we just heard from Richard how complex this war is. How do you see these evacuations impacting the dynamics on the ground and any potential resolution to the military conflict in Sudan?
Yes, well, thank you for having me. First of all, I would just say that I agree with the Colonel. It seems as if the rescue mission, the evacuation, went off without a hitch. But the fact that the airport is closed and that so many foreigners are evacuating, but Sudanese are also evacuating, and many of them feel like they've been abandoned. So I think that on the one hand, it could make it more difficult for the generals to reach a solution, and because there won't be as many eyes on the ground watching them. But I think that everyone has to continue to try to at least get the situation calm enough so that people can sit down.
Again, Colonel, these were American diplomats and their families evacuated, but our understanding is there are still more than thousands, perhaps 16,000 more Americans left behind in the country. At what point would you expect more widespread evacuations? Is it even possible?
It's going to be extremely difficult. People are scattered all over the place, even though the majority of them are in Khartoum. Khartoum is not a good place to be. I think our experience in other evacuations, some of which did not work out very well, indicates it probably predicts that we're not likely to see a large-scale use of the military instrument to support the State Department to get out American citizens and those who have dual citizenship out of Khartoum. Things are going to have to quiet down a great deal before the administration, I think, decides, and the State Department decides that it's going to try to effect an evacuation, Ana.
Earlier on Morning Joe today, National Security Council Coordinator John Kirby was asked about the U.S. presence in Africa, and here's what he said.
We're investing very heavily in the African continent. We're going to continue to do that because we know, as you just said, that Russia and China would like nothing better than to diminish our influence on the African continent for their own selfish purposes.
Ambassador, what do you see as the U.S. role in trying to resolve this conflict and in broader issues in the region?
I think it's important that we don't put everything in the frame of great power competition with Russia and China. We have long been involved in Sudan and the region. There are other countries. Of course, all of the countries have their own interests. But I think it's important that when we think about what the U.S. is doing, it is trying to advance peace in the region. And I think it's important that we note that they are working with others as well, not just the Quad, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia, but also with the UK, with the African Union, the United Nations, and those the way that we align are not always in agreement. So it's still important, though, that we try to work with others and keeping first and foremost in mind the civilians in Sudan who really were behind leading this charge to oust Bashir and get to a democratic transition.
We'll be watching very closely what happens next. Thank you so much for joining us, Ambassador Susan Page and Colonel Jack Jacobs. Really appreciate your perspectives, your expertise and insights here.